All right, so a quick rundown for those of you who are finally feeling the FOMO that you missed the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show. Let's get into it. I try not to drink on camera because that swallowing sound, misophonia. Now, I'm not going to break down any of the lyrics really because I'm 45, I'm ADHD, and I have to watch TV with glasses and subtitles. I had neither of those. Now, all of this is going to be out of order because I'm also relying on memory. Okay, so here are some of the symbolisms that I was able to curate from watching other people break it down, but also some of the stuff that I got myself watching it. So, first of all, right, men came out wearing prison uniforms, but they weren't orange or whatever the colors were. They were red, white, and blue. I forget which color came first. Oh yeah, it was like blue because I think he belongs to blue. I think blue came out first, and red came out first, and white came out last. So initially I thought, yo, we're doing a blood and crip thing because he did that for like Amazon show or something that he did when he like united the Bloods and Crips, which was really cool considering the fact that Bloods and Crips, if I get the history right, was about uniting against Jim Crow and all the crap that was happening and was really about taking care of the community. I could have it wrong. I think it might have been a break off from the Black Panthers, possibly. Something about Shirley Chisholm. I watched the movie, but it was really slow. Anyway, off of that. So they're wearing prison uniforms in the colors of America. Because at first, like I said, I thought it was the gang stuff. And then I was like, if it's gangs, then why aren't you wearing black for like the MS-13s? Because, you know, that's the Mexican gang there too. But so when the white came out, I was like, what is that? Okay. So then, to answer that, they got together and created the American flag. And I was like, oh, the symbolism. Now, my brain did not catch on to the fact that these are prison uniforms. I'm like, why are they wearing full jumpsuits? But I didn't connect it at first, right? So like I said, some of this information is curated and some of this information is mine. And some of this information is I woke up and was like, oh, that's what that was. Okay. Listen, if you watch the Super Bowl show to be entertained, you missed. Because we knew this was going to be a masterclass. We knew there were going to be messages. So I was trying to eat up the messages with my no glasses wearing self. So I missed some things, right? All right. So we had the prison suits building America, right? On top of that, I'm sure y'all know this. If you do not know this, America was built, let's say white collar, blue collar, which kind of makes sense to say it that way. White collar were people talking about laws and stuff. Blue collar were the people who actually built America, right? And for the most part, that was black people. And there were some like foreigners or something who like had like agriculture and land and stuff. And we're not going to get into stealing from the Native Americans. We're not going to get into all of that because let's just talk about what we saw, right? And then on top of that, right? Hold on, let's back up. So on top of that, these people were pouring out of this car. This car is like very symbolic of Cali. I don't know what kind of car it was. It was kind of, I don't really care for this kind of car. I'm into sleek and curvy. It's long and boxy. Was it a Chevy? I don't know. I don't know cars like that, y'all. So please forgive me, okay? But they're pouring out of this car, which I know from the 80s, 90s was like a staple car. And they're just pouring and pouring and pouring. And I'm like, wait, is this a Mexican thing? Like, and I don't mean this in a stereotypical way. I mean it in a symbolic homage way because, you know, in Cali, they were doing the major freezing raids, right? And so I was like, oh, wait, is this homage to our brown skin brothers? So it's like kind of cool because I'm just watching people pour and pour and pour and pour and pour. And I'm like, dude. And I'm trying to figure it out, like, where are they coming from? Are they coming from under the car? Like, is the car front? But, you know, like, I was trying to figure it out. Anyway, past that. So there was, like, this homage to our Hispanic people. And then I saw the colors. And then they put the flag together. And he was in the middle of the flag. And then on top of that, their backs were bent. So their backs were bent as they built America. And then they separated and they became divided. And y'all know the flag only has blue on one side. And then, there's red and white on the other side. Red and white is also on the blue side. But at the same time, it's like, that's now too, right? And he stood in the middle of it. And in it, he was singing the song about be humble, sit down. And that was very, very clear. No mumbling, just very clear. And I was like, bruh, this is strong. I don't fully comprehend it all yet because, like I said, I didn't get the prison uniforms. But I'm like, I'm catching chills. So, and I'll put a picture up here of him standing separate, in the middle of this flag that broke apart. And again, I didn't have on glasses, but in the back, some people in the stands lit up, and they were wearing warning, and I didn't catch the other words. And I forgot to go back and look at this before I filmed. And so they were wearing warning. And I was like, okay, what's this about? Oh my gosh. Right? And so I don't know just his discography that well, because one thing about Kendrick, well, I love him as a writer and I love him as a lyricist. Often his beats are flucking with my ADHD brain. So it's like I'm the person who listens to lyrics first, then listen to the music. And I just, for the most part, in most of his songs, I just can't because the music is so chaotic or just disjointed or just so distracting that I don't often listen to it, right? And then he finds his own cadence, his own rhythms, and so it's like trying to be caught up with him, and he's just so prolific, but it's like, dude, like you're really messing with my brain. And somebody called us Gemini genius, and I'm like, yes, sir, that is us. I'm a writer too, y'all. So a writer, a poet, and all that stuff. Anyway, so there was that. So we had the prison uniforms, we had the red, white, and blue. We had we had a few teases about the song that everybody wants to hear, the song that gripped the nation last year from May until, I guess, now. But, and that helped net him like 5 Grammys and stuff. But he had awesome stuff on it, like his new album. I was like, oh, I love it. Like Man in the Garden. Whew, love it. Anyway, so then there was Serena Williams, who was crip walking. And I was like, why is she here? And then I learned that she was dating Drake at one point, and apparently he did something wrong to her. I didn't look it up because I don't get into gossip that well. But it was like a cheeky thing in that way when she was crip walking to the song everybody wanted to hear. However, also, she was crip walking. And while I do know that's a Bay Area thing, I also feel like it was to Unc, who was crip walking at a crypto ball for that guy on January 19th or 18th. The sellout, basically. That was just, I just said I didn't want to drink. Anyway, that was just so, oh God, it hurt my feelings so much to watch Snoop sell his soul for some crypto. I hope he got his money out before it crashed. Anyway, so there was Serena, right? And then there was this game on the field, right? I'm like, why is this PlayStation on the field? But there was also Squid Games. Now, I didn't watch Squid Games because I don't do thriller, I don't do murder. I am a romance comedy person. And so they showed that, and it was talking about, like, America, the Squid Game. See, I thought it was like a play on the Mr. Beast game, because the Mr. Beast games are very equivalent to a couple things. 1, Hunger Games. 2, Squid Games, I guess. But 3, the American games. I tried to watch the Mr. Beast show on Amazon. I hated that effing show. I never got past the 2nd episode because it was like, dude, like, this is the worst of people for money. It was the perfect metaphor for people. Anyway, so there was that. And I'm about to go. But y'all catch up. In fact, check my repost, because I got some creators in there that just dive into it much better than I did. And next time, Don't sit out the master class.